got it on smash, foot on the gas, I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash.
There ain't no time, is it?
Well, this building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
Let's go, let's go! There we go, 56. 56. Check, 56. It's a party now.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Check 52. Hey, kill. There we go, kill.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Prescott from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Anderson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Now the first carry for Bryce Love. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Check. Fresno.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Touchdown, defense. Slam.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Being chased out left. And this will be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Hey, kill. 47. 55, Mike.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 2nd down. Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Now Elliott. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal.
3 down.
Here's Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
We got this.
They're on 35-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Right there in the middle, 55. You. Hey, 47.
From the 31, Prescott, and a completion to Wilson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Here we go. 56. Check 56. Don't get nervous. 26.
They'll try and run forward with Elliott. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, You have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 49-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
You better be afraid of me.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
56. Who that? Check three.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The 40-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
Prescott. And finding the tight end, Hooper. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Play action now. Prescott. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And Wilson has it. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Touchdown.
Cedric Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
And the ball comes out. Love lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Check. Crunch. 6 guys.
On first down, it's Haskins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Shotgun handoff now for Love. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
It's now 3rd down and long.
Ready, set. Mike 57. Too little, cut, watch ball. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Let's go.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Right there, 56. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 26.
Prescott off play action. Throw left side complete. It's Lane. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 47 yards. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0.
Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. First down run with Elliott, going to go for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And 6 at the 21-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Check out read. Hey, we're going to 54. Right here. 26.
from the shotgun and give to Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
Here we go. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Check four. Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The kick by Maher is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit him, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
So that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Staying on the ground, it's Love. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run the counter. Love. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Kill. Big ass. Hey, switch gears. Check 3.
Haskins now off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Haskins going deep here for Watkins. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. Watkins, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Caught by Wilson. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Prescott now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Go to 54, line 56. Go, echo.
Prescott now. That one complete. Elliott. Now after the play, oh man, it's Prescott who appears to be shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at about the Redskins' 41.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. They're able to locate Wilson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down. X3, 218, chop it.
Now Elliott. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
At the 27-yard line.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
He's telling the right. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. Kill. Hey, try to go.
Here's Pollard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. That's one where you probably give the ball carrier a bit of a mulligan, right?
Yeah.
Where was he going to go there?
Yeah, you could almost see his brain turning over from our perspective. Just put your foot in the ground and go, except there was no place to put his foot in the ground, and there was no place to go. No room to roam.
They'll run with Elliott, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The kick by Marr is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Let's go. Do it.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's go, D.
Now Haskins on first down. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Gerald Everett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. This is Elliott. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And, Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You can't block me. You can't.
Pollard going to try the right side. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Let's go. 8, read. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Page throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3.
It's just me and you. It's just me.
From the gun, Page. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete, and they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Haskins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Haskins to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And he's going to go down again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go. Rush in, rush in, rush in. Check 9. Check. Hey, check 24, check 24.
They're going on 4th down. Haskins. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeMarcus Lawrence and Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
Ready up. Mike, 56, right there, 56. Squeeze, double. Hey, watch it.
The first down carry by Elliott. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
He's coming. We got to jump up. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the safety creep. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Here's Pollard again. And he lost the football. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
I'm glad we were paying attention during the rule seminar, because we learned the only time you can't advance a fumble like that is in the last 2 minutes of either half.
Right. Other than that, if that ball's out, whether forward or backwards, it's live and free for anybody.
No doubt about it. When you say free, that means he's got free reign to pick it up and go. And that's exactly what happened there. Took it in for a touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. On the draw, this is Love. And he is going to lose a big chunk of yardage. So we do have a flag on the field. So what's the call? Let's find out. Here's Tressway now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Taken from just outside the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard on the play, and it's 3rd down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard brings up 4th down.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Cowboys, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, It's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.